morning?
Well, you know what they say about early birds and stuff like that?
Yes, he catches the worm.
True, but that's not why I called.
What can I help you with?
Listen, I'm trying to get hold of Frisco.
Oh, well, did you try his apartment?
Yeah, but I didn't get an answer. I thought you might be able to give me a clue.
I'm sorry, Robert, but I just got up and I haven't seen either one of them. Oh, hold on. Looks like I spoke too soon. The shuttle has just arrived.
Where's everybody in the brownstone? We should all be together and discuss reopening Duke's Club.
Underway.
We're gonna have breakfast on us today, obviously.
Well, I think that's a great idea, but can I wait 2 minutes? Can you talk to Robert?
That's Robert?
Yeah, he's been trying to call me.
Yeah. Robert, Frisco.
Listen, mate, I got another favor to ask you.
Fine. You just name it.
I'll start the coffee.
Thanks, honey.
Good morning.
It's good about it.
Did we get up on the wrong side of bed?
To have got up on the wrong side of bed would imply that I had slept.
You didn't sleep?
No, not even close.
Well,
Not all night.
nobody has a better reason, I guess.
I can't help it. I can't stop thinking once I start, you know? It's like when we lost Robin last autumn.
Yeah, well, that was rough on all of us.
You didn't know whether she was alive or dead. It's sort of the same situation as Duke now.
He's a strong guy. He's not going to give up without a fight.
Yeah, but the worst part is not knowing. Is not knowing whether he goes in for this surgery and he still won't be able to walk.
Look, it's been my experience that when you're not sure what's down the road, well, you just sit around and let the road bring it to you. Worrying never solved a problem.
I know. I'm really thankful you've been here with me all this time. I couldn't have done it on my own.
Listen, while I'm around, you're never going to be lonely.
Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you something.
Sure.
Where were you at 3 o'clock this morning when I needed you?
Well, I heard you moving about in there. I thought you were working on your tango routine.
Oh, dear, that seems like years away.
You know, I didn't mean to upset you. I know you're worried about the review board.
No, I'm not. I'm more worried about Duke. If this operation doesn't work, he could be paralyzed for the rest of his life.
You know, it's perfectly normal to be a little uptight before surgery.
I'm a little more than uptight, Amy.
Well, it's really no big deal. I mean, they cut into people left and right around this place. It's really pretty routine stuff.
Well, it's certainly easy for you to say. You're not about to have your future decided by a room full of people that you hardly know.
Wow, that's really amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's just like your criminal trial. There you have a dozen people that you've never even met deciding your fate. I mean, you never even got to show them your good side or anything.
Well, thank you for reminding me of that.
Oh, you can't let the little things get you down. Tony Jones is like the most wonderful surgeon. If I required surgery that needed that kind of life and death sort of precision, I would definitely want him on my team.
It's very comforting. Thank you, Amy.
And look at the bright side. As soon as you recover from surgery, you're going to be able to get right back up on your feet and face the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. I'm just hoping that it won't be behind bars.
Well, at least you have the right people behind you. I mean, Anna Devane and Robert Scorpio are no slouches when it comes to getting people out of trouble. I've seen what they can do. I mean, I know from personal experience. Did you know that Ginny was on trial for murdering Terry's father? I mean, nobody would ever...
Do you ever talk about the things that ordinary nurses discuss? You know, the weather, the holidays, or...
I'm sorry, I was just trying to take your mind off your troubles, that's all.
Well, I understand that, and I appreciate your effort. But I could use a couple of minutes on my own.
Sure, I understand.
Amy?
Yep.
It's nothing personal.
No, it's okay, it's fine.
Morning.
Morning, Tony.
I heard you didn't sleep too well last night.
I have a lot of things on my mind.
I can understand that.
Everything's set for the surgery.
Yeah. Listen, Duke, don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid of the surgery. I'm afraid of life after surgery.
What do you mean?
Just being paralyzed for the rest of my life.
You mean the way your father was?
Yeah, the way he was. I watched the life drain out of my mother, drop by drop, day after day, after his accident.
And you think the same thing is going to happen to Anna's life?
I won't let the same thing happen to Anna.
Duke, you have got to change your attitude before we go into surgery. Believe me, it's going to make a hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah, 50-50 chance. My whole life decided on the flip of a coin.
You know, I'm really surprised at you. I thought you were a gambler.
Those odds aren't the best when you're betting on your life.
Got an update on reopening the club, huh?
Well, here,
Press
you
that
first.
bell.
Yeah, well, I hope this is a surprise I'm waiting for.
Good morning.
Come in, please.
Morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, I was just leaving the station when I got your message.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Oh, good morning, everybody.
Would you like some breakfast?
No, I've already eaten, thanks.
How about some coffee?
How about some coffee?
Coffee, yeah, I got time for a coffee.
Sure, sit down. What are you rushing off to so early in the morning, huh?
Well, I gotta get to that police board review hearing, you know.
For Anna?
Yeah.
I think it is absolutely ridiculous that Anna's motives could ever be questioned.
Well, I'm sure Captain Lewis can do a lot of things to get Anna out of trouble.
How does it look for her?
I can't discuss the case here. Is this the reason you asked me over here?
No, actually, Captain, it's not. I have a favor to ask of you.
Well, come on, tell me. I gotta get out of here.
Have the police finished their investigation of Duke Lavery's club over there?
Yeah, a couple of days ago.
We need to get in there.
That's not possible. It's locked up tighter than a drum.
Ah, here comes the favor part.
We need you to get us in there.
Don't tell me. You left your guitar there.
It's our club. We rented it.
We are preparing for the opening benefit for Duke's new club.
Our new club.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did I miss something here? Yeah, Duke Lavery is in the hospital facing surgery and probably a prison sentence. Well, right?
Yes, that's exactly why we're throwing him a benefit on opening night.
That brings up a very interesting point. Why are you throwing a benefit for a known criminal?
Duke Lavery is not your run-of-the-mill criminal.
After all, he saved Robert Scorpio's life, and he helped nail Bert Ramsey.
And all the other crooks.
And you think that's enough to get me to open the doors, right?
Well, we happen to have a lease, too.
Oh. Well, now that makes more sense than anything else you told me so far.
Well, I learned it from you at the academy.
Come on, don't bring me into this, huh?
No, you always said a good cop goes by the books, but he always keeps his humanity, right?
Yeah, but I think I was talking about helping little old ladies across the street, not putting criminals back on them.
Will you help us? Please?
Okay. Do I have a choice?
No.
All right.
You're the best. You are terrific. Ellen. Thank you.
So how's Duke? He's had a pretty bad time. He thinks he's going to end up paralyzed, as well as ruin Anna's life in the process.
Well, paralysis is a possibility.
Well, it's not something I'm going to let him dwell on. I'm not going to operate until he's in a better frame of mind.
You can't hold off on his surgery too much longer, Tony.
I know that, Yank, but attitude has a lot to do with a patient's recovery from surgery.
Well, I'm not saying that positive thinking isn't important, but what are you going to do now?
I need Anna. That's the only thing that'll give him something to live for. Could you do me a favor, Amy?
Anything. Oh, except babysitting
No, it
tonight,
is not about babysitting. I need Anna Devane on the phone, please.
Sure, I'll try her at home.
Thanks.
Has Steve Hardy asked about our part in Duke's escape plan?
No, and in this case, no news is good news.
Yeah, well, it's easy for you to say. You're a new member of the staff. I'm just a resident. My career's on the line.
I would never let them blame you, okay? Now, when I agreed to help them, I knew that we might get in trouble, all right? But it's my responsibility.
I have her on the line.
Thanks. Anna?
How is he?
Well, he's all right. Nothing has changed, but he needs some help. He's having a difficult time, and I know that you've got your own set of problems this morning, but I was just wondering if you could come by for a little while.
Oh, yeah, I'll be right there.
Thanks.
I think I've figured out a good defense for the review board hearing.
That was Tony.
Duke?
Yeah, he needs me. He's having trouble.
I think we can spare a few minutes before the hearing.
I love him. I never thought I'd love anyone again like that.
Yeah, I felt the same way until I met Holly.
Well, now it looks like I could lose Duke.
Come on, you're supposed to be giving the guy some hope.
Yeah. You know, it's... in some awful way, I feel like I'm being punished for what I did to you.
That was a long time ago, and it's water under the bridge.
Oh, I just wish I hadn't been so hard on Duke.
I wish you'd stop being so hard on yourself. Look, I remember how I felt when I discovered that you'd saved my life. All I could think about was the bad times I'd given you.
It'd be nice if we could see into the future, wouldn't it?
Save us a lot of pain.
Yeah. I'm not losing this time, Robert. I lost you. But I'm not going to lose him. Nothing can take him away from me. I'm going to fight.
Well, nothing should be stopping us now. Captain Lewis said that the club would be open later this morning.
Fabulous. Now we can start planning the opening.
I can't believe we're running Duke's Club. It's like just yesterday I was auditioning for the man.
It was just yesterday.
Oh, come on. If we're going to put this thing together, we haven't got very much time to waste.
The man's right. Let's get started.
I'm going to go get some more cleaning supplies. I'll meet you over the club in a little while.
I'll go with
okay?
you.
Bring some cash, will you?
Is that all I'm good for?
No, we will need you to help scrub the floors.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. It might ruin my surgeon hands.
Oh.
So then you can sleep.
Come on, Terry, let's
Maybe
see
my
if we
elbow?
can get some supplies. All right.
Let's go down to the basement and look for some stuff first.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Look who I found outside.
Okay, I'm sorry to stop by without calling. I hope it's not a bad time. It looks kind of busy around here.
Don't let it kid you, Tom. It's like this around here wherever.
Yeah.
Well, what's all the excitement?
Captain Lewis agreed to open up Duke's Club, so we have to get started on the cleanup.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Oh, what a marvelous idea. Why don't you just go upstairs, change your clothes, and meet us at the club later?
You can't possibly think that I would help clean up the club.
Sure, Tiffany. I mean, we're all chipping in here.
Oh, yeah, but you don't understand. I mean, I couldn't possibly do something like that. I mean, if my public ever got wind of that, I mean, you just...
Oh, darling, your secret is safe with us. Be there or be square.
Tiffany told me what you're doing for Duke, and I think that is real nice.
It'll work out well for all of us.
Yeah, what can we do for you, Tom? Well, nothing for me, really. It's I'm here about Duke, too. The shop stewards, not the union, are planning to bring him up on charges of misusing the union funds.
That's not fair.
Oh.
Great. That's all Duke needs right now is some more legal troubles.
Yeah, I know that you've got kind of a reputation of being, the champion of the underdog. So I was thinking if you could talk to the guys, maybe we can do something to stop them before they file the formal charges.
I thought that was up to the district attorney.
Yeah, it is, but the way that the union members feel is bound to sway the district attorney in some way. Yeah, but I think Tom is right. I think you should go over there. Try and stop this thing before it starts.
Why don't you go too, Sean, because the guys trust you.
Yeah,
Good
that's
idea.
a good idea. You two go to the meeting, and I'll see you at Duke's later.
Sounds like a plan. Okay.
Now, Anna, you do understand why this is so critical, don't you?
Yes. You want me to convince Duke that he will walk after this operation?
We have to stop him from comparing his father's condition with his. See, his real fear is that he's going to ruin your life.
He needs a dash of positive thinking. Remember, it was part of the WSB training. You should be good at it.
That's right. We were taught that if any agent regarded his mission as impossible, then he usually failed.
And that's it, exactly. I can't operate on him until he believes that he can recover.
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And last but not least, Tony needs one more set of x-rays before he does surgery. So,
Can I talk to him for a while? Thanks, Vinny.
Thank you. I didn't expect to see you here.
Why not?
Isn't your review board meeting scheduled for this morning?
Yes, I'm going to go there shortly.
But you came down here to see me.
I couldn't let you go in on a surgery without a visit from me.
Did Tony ask you to come here?
Do you think I need someone to ask me to come and visit the man I love?
Perhaps if you didn't know it was the last time you'd see him as a whole man.
I do love you.
But I won't stand for this sort of negative thinking.
You couldn't possibly love me, not now, not in the condition that I'm in.
You once told me that you never welched on your promises. Now, do you still stand by that?
I suppose.
Well, you promised me and Robin that we would go to Scotland. Well, I want to go to Scotland. And I want you to teach Robin how to ride a pony.
You'll understand that the circumstances have changed.
Stop that! Stop it. Nothing's changed.
Yes, it has, Anna. Now, why don't you face it? I am paralyzed from the waist down. I may never walk again. And even if the surgery is successful, I will still go to jail.
Is that what all this is about?
That's what all of this is about. I won't let you ruin your life waiting for me.
You are going to walk after this surgery because we are going to have a wonderful future together. I love you, Robin loves you, and you want this to work just as much as I do. Now, don't you shut us out. You go into that surgery with hope. And we'll sort out the prison thing later.
Excuse me, please. It's time to prep you for surgery, Duke.
I'll be here when you come out.
Huh? Thank you.
I love you.
How'd it go?
Well, I gave it my best shot. The rest is up to him.
Well, right now, you've got a really important battle of your own to fight. We have a meeting with the review board, and I don't think we should keep them waiting.
You're late.
Oh, I'm sorry. It couldn't be helped.
Urgent personal business.
Yes.
Listen, you've managed to allow your personal life to interfere with your work ever since the day you took this job.
That's not true, sir.
Look, could we hold this until we get into the board meeting?
I suggest we allow the hearing to continue on a professional level, Ken.
Thank you, Robert. But I can fight my own battles. The mayor knows as well as I do that I have never mixed up my personal and professional life.
Well, I hope you can substantiate that before the review board. Otherwise, we'll be looking for 2 jobs instead of 1. Ramsey's and yours.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to hear that. I tried to calm him down.
It's not your fault, Guy.
All right,
I know what he is like under pressure.
I'll tell him you're ready to come in.
Thank you, Guy. Hey, look, don't let Morgan get to you. He's just protecting his political image. If the review board find in your favor, he'll be back in your corner soon enough.
I miss Robin.
Me too.
Yeah. You made arrangements to bring her back yet?
It's in the works.
Maybe we should wait a while until all this is blown over. I'd hate her to come back and her mother's out of a job and her uncle's and...
I have an assistant in too many surgeries where the entry's been through the back.
It's not uncommon. Just the anesthesiologist has to take special precautions.
I remember from medical class that there has to be an open airway.
That's why the patient has an endotracheal tube. Now, this operation is itself delicate. The bullet is lodged in the tissue near the vertebrae.
And the proximity to the vertebrae increased the possibility of further nerve damage.
Yeah, but if we can get the bullet out without too much damage, we're home free.
Looks like the bullet has shifted.
Yeah, in the early x-rays, it was between the L4 and the L5. It is now shifted down toward the spine. We may have to perform a laminectomy, which I was hoping to avoid.
Does that decrease Duke's chances?
They're 40% now. Let's get started. Scalpel?
I don't know what you're talking about. We gotta get rid of him. just asking
Look,
that you
our
give the guy a
union's
break.
been getting a lot of bad press. The whole city's waiting to find out how we handle this situation.
All right, fine. Wait a second. But why let them think that the dock workers union can't take care of its own?
Lavery was never one of us.
We elected him. That made him one of us, for better or for worse.
Oh, come on, Tom. It never gets worse. We have to do something about him. He used our pension fund to launder dirty money.
Money that he tried to put back. Look, I know Duke Lavery. He wouldn't have tried to steal anything from anyone.
His mob connections alone are enough to convince me to get rid of him. Look, do you know what the public thinks about us? They think we're just like him.
I don't think that's so bad. Look, Duke Lavery was instrumental in stopping the mob connections here in Port Charles. I think there are a lot worse people you can socialize with.
Hey, guys. I had my doubts from the beginning about Duke, but I changed my mind. I don't know why I changed my mind. Because he saved Robert Scorpio's life, that's why.
That man has worked hard for this union. You remember when there was all this pressure to bring in outside workers to come in and finish the fisherman's village?
Oh, come on, let's not make some kind of a hero out of him, will you? Duke Lavery is nothing more than a mouthpiece for the mob.
You just knocked it off. That man went out on a limb for you. Look, he saved local union jobs. He wouldn't let the mob workers in. Now, that's got to count for something.
Hey, he stole our pension money.
Money that he put back.
Yeah, and as soon as he did, the mob borrowed it back.
Look, all that money is sitting right now in the new dock workers' bank, right? I mean, if you want, I will subpoena that money and get it right back in your hands anytime you want.
Terrific.
You know what I think you ought to do?
What's that?
I think you ought to beat the mob at its own game. I think you ought to take over that bank. I think you ought to make it kind of a credit union for the members.
Jake's right. This mob wanted everyone to believe that was going to happen. Well, you guys are in a perfect position to make it really happen.
Not a bad idea.
Without Duke Lavery, there wouldn't even be a bank.
All right, we'll think about it.
Good. The charges against Chief Anna Devane are as follows. Chief Devane helped an accused felon, Duke Lavery, escape from police custody. She was responsible for the loss of her police-owned vehicle. She hampered the police investigation of the accused escaped criminal. And she was involved non-police personnel in police matters. Lastly, she falsified police records concerning the death of the prisoner, Damon Grendel. You may be seated.
There seems to be no end to the charges against Chief Devane.
It can all be explained, sir.
We will need a full explanation of these serious and extensive charges.
I think we all agree that Chief Devane should be allowed to defend herself.
By all means.
I found myself in a very extraordinary situation. As you know, my co-chief, Bert Ramsey, was head of the local mob ring here in Port Charles. Now, I had to draw on my own initiative to handle this situation.
We've got rules about that sort of thing.
I know you have rules, and they're very good rules, sir, but I had to throw Ramsey off base. That is why I used non-police personnel. I mean, as soon as I had enough evidence against Ramsey, then I brought in the key police personnel.
Well, I think we all sitting at this table realize that that's the truth. We all know that.
We know your intentions were good, Chief. It's your technique that's in question.
It makes a mockery of everything we teach at the academy.
Of course, Chief Devane was not a graduate of our academy.
That's correct. She graduated from the WSB. And you don't get any better than that, I ought to know. I went through the same program. I also recommended Chief Devane for her current job.
Did the WSB train you to get rid of expensive cars by driving them into lakes?
Actually, yes.
Are you saying that Chief Devane purposefully ditched her car in the lake?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how much that car cost the city?
I think the end result justified the expense.
Would you show that replacement estimate to the rest of the board?
Of course.
What the hell are you trying to do?
Just play along.
No, you're going to get me fired.
Look, I'm baiting the hook, WSB star.
You may continue, Mr. Scorpio. We're all at the edge of our seats.
Now, I know what it's like to have to make snap decisions. Decisions which sometimes affect more than one person, sometimes thousands. In this particular case, an entire city. Anna Devane here elected to make one of those decisions when she took on the mob. It was her idea to have the mob's money dumped into an alternate manhole. I also watched as she conned a group of mobsters into a passive surrender by use of a multimedia setup, using a dead man's voice, Devane Grenville, to indict the mobsters. All right, so the methods are a little unorthodox. I take my hat off to this woman, and I suggest you do the same thing.
Maybe we should start teaching these techniques at the academy.
That's a really good idea. Don't forget about the Bulgarian connection.
Oh, yeah. The Bulgarian connection. And this was a rather famous WSB case that Anna and I worked on together. As a matter of fact, she used the same basic plan then as she did in this particular case.
Mm-hmm.
This is all very interesting. Perhaps the board should adjourn and discuss the merits of the case at some other time.
Well, not so fast, Ken. I'd just like to remind everybody here that it was my recommendation that got Miss Devane her current job as police chief. I stand behind that recommendation, and I'd like you to take that into account when you cast a vote which is going to affect her future position within this noble department.
Thank you for coming, Commissioner. That's ex-commissioner.
Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Thank you.
Wait a minute. There's one thing I almost forgot. This is for you, Mr. Mayor.
What is it?
It's a letter from the head of the WSB according me full jurisdiction over Port Charles to counteract the mob infiltration here. Now, part of the deal was that I work with ex-agent Devane in an undercover capacity. Taking into account the international impact of these arrests, the WSB has elected to give the Port Charles Police Department a badge of merit.
It has. Wait till the papers get hold of this.
Well, maybe this is what the department needs to get over the bad vibes we've been getting from the community about this Burt Ramsey thing.
Let me just see what it says here.
It's all there in black and white, Mr. Mayor.
Well, it says here that the WSB wants me to personally come to Washington to accept the award.
Now, don't you think it's going to be a touch embarrassing if the person largely responsible for this honor for the department is unceremoniously dumped off the force?
Mr. Mayor, I suggest we ask Mr. Scorpio and Chief Devane to wait in the corridor while we discuss this matter in private.
Good idea. I think that's a sensible way to handle the matter.
Eighth floor, please. I want to find out how Duke is.
He's probably in surgery.
Yeah. Hello, this is Anna Devane here. I was wondering if I could get some information on how Duke Lavery is. Yes. Yeah, I do realize that it's very unusual for you to give information like that over the phone. However, this is a very special case. Still in the operation. Thank you.
They won't tell you anything.
No. He's still in surgery. They said it was a rather crucial point in the operation.
Sponge? Sam? Sponge?
How are his vital signs?
Good. Scale. All right. Now the bullet is definitely pressing against the nerve here. We're gonna have to do a laminectomy. Once I get the bone fragments out, we can remove the bullet before it causes permanent damage to the spine.
Can you be certain the bullet hasn't already done damage?
There's no way I'm gonna know that until I get in there.
Hang in there, friend.